recharge because Roar of Time is an attack that needs to recharge on the second turn. So I was like, yeah, I might just leave this one, but then it gets max damage, and I was like, yeah, that's fine as well, because I mean, Swampert was able to bring the Dialga down to a point where Persian can come in, a shiny Persian, and you don't even see the difference. So I go for the nasty plot here on the turn that he had to recharge, and I know that on the next turn I can pretty much just go for the Swift, or Shift, or whatever you pronounce that attack. And I'm gonna be able to take down the Dialga, and you don't see that often, ladies and gents. You don't, even though it was a critical hit, it didn't really matter because the Dialga would have gone down anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Technician Persian is such an amazing Pokemon in combination with Nasty Plot. Now, my opposition is going to bring out the Tyranitar right now, which is totally fine by me. I know the Sandstream is going to be activated, and the Sandstorm is going to come up. I'm just going to go for the Water Pulse, and now you be the judge. Had the freaking Sandstorm not been in effect, I would have taken down this Tyranitar. I would have swept this entire team with a Persian. Honestly though, like, oh my god, that would have been so cool, but unfortunately, I do get the confusion hacks though, but he breaks through the confusion and goes for the Brick Break, takes me down, and I'm like, okay, well, that's fine. Persian still did an amazing job of taking out a freaking Dialga. That is so amazing. And not to mention that he did so much damage to this Tyranitar, to the point where Milotic can come in here and just go for the Scald and finish off the job here. And now looking at his team, I would say that Milotic is really sitting well here, especially after that Venusaur is taken care of, because really there is nothing else on his team that can pretty like hurt Milotic that much, which is absolutely fantastic. Now the Sandstorm is actually gonna end up hitting me, and somebody's just messaging me on Facebook, so I'm just gonna like mute this thing here so you cannot hear the sound anymore. So he's gonna bring out the Empoleon at this point, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna stay in here, go for the Scald. I just don't know what kind of Empoleon this is at this point, so I just wanted to get the burn off, and that's exactly what I just tried to get. But then he goes for the Blizzard and misses, and I mean, like, yeah, that kind of makes sense because Blizzard is an attack that doesn't have the highest of accuracy. So I get buffeted by the Sandstorm, and then I get that damage recovered by the leftovers. Now then, I see Flame Orb on Empoleon, and I'm like, what? I was fishing for the burn, and you just burned yourself? Well, that's fine. And then I discovered that it is actually a physical attacking, or a mixed sweeper, sorry, Empoleon with Facade and Flame Orb, and it doesn't make sense. Because I understand that, you know, Empoleon is part steel, so it cannot get poisoned. But then Burn still lowers your attack though. It's not like you have Guts' ability. So it was quite like the worst combination ever right there. So I'm able to get another Scald off just to deal damage, as he's able to get a Blizzard off. Fortunately for me though, he doesn't get the freeze, which is really good. The Sandstorm subsides, and I get once again more HP back from the leftovers as he's burned, and another Scald will be sufficient to take down this Empoleon at this point. And I'm like, yeah, I just have never ever seen an Empoleon with like Flame Orb. Like, that is something that took me by surprise, but at the same time I was just face palming myself like, oh my god, how, you know, it's original, I know, I'll give you that, it's amazing, it's amazing that you thought of something like this, but it is not smart, because Flame Orb still lowers the attack of Empoleon, and it just nullifies the boost. So it's really, it doesn't make sense, it just doesn't. So the Empoleon's gonna go down, and he's gonna bring out the Venusaur, and really unlucky on his part, he misses the sleep powder. And then I'm like, oh god, I feel so bad for this guy or this girl. I don't know who I'm talking to or I'm battling against here. So yeah, I'm just gonna fire off another Ice Beam, which is gonna be my second Ice Beam, and that's gonna be sufficient to take down this Venusaur. I end up getting a critical hit, which did not matter in the end because it would have been a 2-hit KO anyways. So it's kind of a melodic sweep, I would say, because really the rest of his team wasn't able to deal that much damage to Melodic, and like the leftovers was capable of bringing me back to almost full health. And not to mention that even my Melodic, which is not trained in speed, was able to outspeed a Dragonite. Like, wow, go away, Dragonite. You just got bitten down by an Ice Beam. So Melodic is just looking awesome and sweet and you know, beautiful here, and he's gonna bring out his last Pokemon at this point, which is gonna be the Charizard. And because of the Stealth Rocks that I set up on the first turn, this thing is gonna lose 50% of its health, which is absolutely amazing. Now it's gonna go for the Mega Evolution. It shows up with the Mega Charizard X, and this is the physical side of Charizard, and he goes for the Fly, and I'm like, wow, really? Okay, I mean, Fly would have been stabbed on normal Charizard because it's still Flying type, but then after you evolve, it doesn't make sense because it's no longer stabbed. I know you can still get that boost from Strong Jaw, I think it is, or Strong Strong Claw, sorry, or something like that, like the ability of Charizard X, because physical attacks that make contact, they are boosted by a 30%, I believe, and Fly actually takes profit from that. So, but still, it loses the stab. So using Fly is really not a convenient move to use on Charizard. So Scald is gonna be sufficient to take down the Charizard from this range. This is gonna be a good game, guys, and thank you very much for watching. Comment, rate, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Remember to leave a like, and I love you guys forever. So take care.